The Jets unveiled their new uniforms over the weekend. The Lions will unveil their new uniforms tomorrow. And the Jets kind of have a subtle throwback look, but it's pretty subtle. Not a radical change. Not a whole new identity. Do you want the Lions' new uniforms to be a radical change, or do you want it to be subtle? Because it feels as though they've always sort of maintained a similar look. There hasn't been a lot of radical change. Sometimes when uniform changes take place, you kind of go, wait, who's that? Who? You don't know just by seeing it. But do you want to, when these uniforms get unveiled, do you want to know immediately, yep, that's our familiar Detroit Lions, and maybe even ask, okay, what's the change? Like, do you want it more subtle or do you want more radical?
I'm not sure. I the only thing that's really changed over the years is putting the lion on the helmet, and then they've made a little slight adjustment to now you got the angry fang in there or whatever. But that's been a dozen years since that happened. It feels like. So I like the Lions uniforms. I've never had an issue with them. I like the color scheme. I like when they go throwback and it's just, kind of plain. I like that look to it. I love the new helmet they introduced this year. Love the new helmet they introduced this year.
It's probably one of the more radical things they've done.
Yeah. So, if that's going to be part of it, or is it just the jersey itself? I'm guessing probably just the jersey that changes. I don't even know. Radical to me would say you're changing colors.
Yeah.
If you're going to change colors completely, or are you going to add a color that isn't there now, or are you going to change up the percentage of the Honolulu blue versus the silver? I don't know. I know it's a wishy-washy answer, but I'm eager to see what they're going to do. I don't know what I want them to do, because sometimes a bold-ass change can look amazing, and sometimes can look like a clown show. Like we had the last big uniform change was the Pistons when they went to the Horsehead, right?
Yeah.
And that was,
which, by the way, is a serious moment in time. The Pistons went to a Horsehead, which
yeah, right.
It sounds hilarious. But everybody who lived through it knows exactly what we're talking about.
Flames coming out of the exhaust, and once you looked at it, but that was like an acquired taste that took 20 years after they dumped it for people to actually appreciate it.
I know, right?
And even then, it's like, well, they had the two versions. They had the teal one, and then they had like the red jerseys. And the red jerseys, actually, looking back, was pretty sweet. But the teal was just the wrong time to bring out teal, because everybody had teal.
Mm-hmm.
The Pistons have changed. They've got a bunch of different jerseys now, the 313 and all this stuff. And they had the St. Cecilia's jerseys. I actually like those new ones. But they're just alternate jerseys. You still have your original.
Yeah, in the NBA, they've kind of gone crazy with jerseys.
So I don't know what they'll do to be just slightly different. Do they go to white instead of the silver? I can't imagine. I don't know what it's going to look like.
The teaser videos, it looks like it's going to be subtle. It looks like it's hard to tell. Khang, what do you want?
I want to know it's the Lions still.
Okay. You want subtle.
No, you could still be drastic, and I think know the Lions. Maybe that's just keeping the color scheme pretty damn close to what it is. But I want to know that it's the Lions. Like wow, that's the Lions. Or all right, that looks like the Lions. I just want to know. The Honolulu blue and silver. I like those colors. Maybe it's because the only colors I kind of grew up and you throw in the black and all the gray, all stuff. But we all know. The main colors are Honolulu blue and silver. So for me, as long as they don't go drastic, which I don't think they will, I don't need to see, red and purple or something. You know what I mean? That to me is drastic. I think if they keep the same color scheme, I'm fine with it, because I like change. I think changing uniforms and helmets, I think that's fun in sports.
The teaser video that the Lions put out, it feels like blue pants is something that's going to be with a big white stripe down the side, is what one thing looks like. One of the changes looks like. The other thing is it doesn't look like they're touching the helmets. It looks like the helmet with the helmet logo is staying the same. But we will find out tomorrow. With that said, let's take 10 texts right now.
Oh.
10 texts right now at 248-539-9797. What do you want these Lions uniforms to look like when they get revealed tomorrow? Do you want subtle or do you want dramatic change?
So I'm looking at the video again,
Yep.
and that the Detroit Lions tweeted out yesterday, ready for our close-up, and there's like these little teases, of what the uniform is going to look like. And I pause it right when they show the back nameplate of Jared Goff, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I went and looked up Goff jersey on Google Image and the current ones they have, and you could tell definitely the font they use is different on the back of the jersey. Now just look at the O. It's got like instead of circular, it's not it's got straight edges on the corners, I guess you could call them, or whatever, where they start to turn. And the current jersey, it's like it's circular.
It's an octagon
Yes.
O versus a normal.
So you could tell
oval.
right off the bat that's going to be changed. And then the blue looks darker, and I have no idea if that's a video or a darkness thing, but the blue looks darker than the normal Honolulu blue. It almost looks like a Rams blue. You see what I'm saying?
No,
Gator?
it's like a more of a
Yeah.
I see. It looks more like a Cowboys blue.
Yeah, something like that.
You know what doesn't have a circular O? Is the word Bronco on the Ford Bronco. Remember there was, so is it the font? Is it the Bronco font? Now you can get a Bronco that says Ford on the front or a Bronco that says Bronco on the front, but it is a octagon O and not a circular.
I think I said that last week, Gator, when we were talking about it. I think because they said they were going to maybe a Bronco incorporated into the uniforms.
Well, anyway, we asked people, do you prefer a subtle change or do you want a more dramatic change when these things get unveiled tomorrow? What are you hoping for? JMO says very little change. Need to bring back the black jerseys. Dream scenario is they drop them with JMO switching to number 1. Dan writes in dramatic with those blue helmets. I wouldn't mind if the blue helmets became the regular helmets. I love that helmet.
With the elongated lion?
Yeah.
The old logo?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm
crawling.
a huge fan of that.
That logo is crawling right out of the 1960s. Let's go to subtle. Let's go subtle back to the Barry Sanders era jerseys, but updated. Now they had sparkly silver numbers back then too when Barry first broke them. Get rid of the baby blue. Get rid of baby blue. Dramatic change. That's from Tom. Subtle. Fix the number font and sleeves. Good to go. That's from Nathan and Howell. Mike writes in dramatic change. Honolulu blue is an awful color. Needs to be a darker blue. Dylan says subtle change, nothing crazy. Mark and Lansing, I want a subtle change. Don't change any colors, but let's add some new style to what we have. Charlie in a classroom. Let's go major change. Time to spice it up. Next one, give me something dramatic, subtle. Give me something dramatically subtle. I want to be shaken but not stirred, Shake and bake, baby. That's Ricky Bobby. P.S. If you ain't first, you last. Thank you, Ricky. We all can relate to Ricky Bobby this year. Sure. We all referenced Ricky Bobby this year. 248-539-9797. Let's go to Mike in Royal Oak. You're on 97 on a ticket. Hi, Mike.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
What's up?
Well, I saw something on the internet that caught my eye the other day. Check this out. How about the working around the helmet? And I seen a dark blue helmet, kind of like with the new logo on it. But it was a full lion, but the lion was white with blue trim on the inside.
Yeah.
It's sharp.
I am a big fan, actually, of white helmets. I kind of wondered about putting a white helmet on the Lions.
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah. So, but you had it with the white. You had a dark blue with a white lion, actually, right?
Yeah, dark blue with a white lion.
I'm not mad at that either.